Modern Irish are the population most genetically similar to Bronze Age remains, followed by Scottish and Welsh, and share more DNA with the three Bronze Age men from Rathlin Island than with the earlier Ballynahatty Neolithic woman. The Ballynahatty Woman is the name given to a prehistoric female found in the townland of Ballynahatty near Belfast in 1855. She's estimated to have lived about 5,000 years ago. In 2015, her genome, along with that of a trio of men who lived 4,000 years ago, was sequenced by geneticists at Trinity College Dublin and archaeologists at Queen's University Belfast. She was found to have Neolithic Anatolian ancestry and out of modern peoples most genetically resembles the inhabitants of Spain and Sardinia. Archaic DNA, Neolithic Bronze Age migration to Ireland. The Ballynahatty individual was a Neolithic woman from an early megalithic passage-like grave in Ballynahatty, County Down, Ireland, whose remains have been dated to between 3,343 and 3,020 years BC. DNA was extracted from the petrous portion of the temporal bone. The authors state that she had a genome of predominantly Near Eastern origin and that she also had some hunter-gatherer ancestry. The data is uploaded to GEDMATCH as kit number F999805. A one-to-many search reveals a surprising number of matches with living people. So let's see if I match. We're going to go ahead and take the kit number and go over to GEDMATCH. And GEDMATCH is a site that allows you to compare your raw DNA to others, current people living, and archaic ancient bones that they've dug up and sequenced, extracted the DNA of. So we're going to go to the one-to-one autosomal DNA comparison, and I'll add my kit and the kit number for the Ballynahatty Woman. For the SNPs threshold, I'm going to lower it to 25, minimum segment size 3. And we'll press compare. On chromosomes 1, we have 3 matches there, 4.6 centimorgans, 3.9, 3.2. Chromosome 2, we have 3.3 centimorgans. This is the match. Wherever it's blue and yellow is a match between, in this case, the Ballynahatty Woman and myself. Wherever we match with the sequence of DNA letters, it will show us. So we match in various chromosomes across the way. Let's go all the way down. Our largest segment is 4.9 centimorgans, and total half-match segments are 115.6 centimorgans. And we share 32 shared segments. The Rathlin individuals were early Bronze Age men from a cyst burial on Rathlin Island, County, Ireland. And the remains have been dated to 2026 to 1,534 BC. And the DNA was extracted from the petrous portion of the temporal bones. And here it says, the authors state that they had a steppe genetic heritage, an indication of large European population upheaval. What is meant by that is that Europeans are comprised of waves of people populating and taking over one group after the other until they emerged as us. We all contain a combination of ancient peoples coming in and taking over the previous population. We have, in this case, this is FTDNA, and these are my results here. So I'm 32% hunter-gatherer, 60% farmer, 8% Metal Age invader, which is Yamnaya. Okay, but if we click on routes, you'll see that we have 3 different waves that expanded out into Europe. And let me check here. Let's just to make sure here. So the hunter-gatherers were the first ones, and they come out. The farmers come in and replace them. And then the Yamnaya Metal Age invaders come and replace the previous. So they all blend into the population, merge into each other. And Europeans are a combination of these groups. It's more complicated than that, but that's the basic gist of it. So that Rathlin sample represents Yamnaya DNA coming in at the end and taking over. So we'll check out this website. Who were the builders of the monuments? Ireland's first megalithic monuments were built by early farmers, tribes of Neolithic cattle herders who made an epic journey from Brittany in France around 4100 BC to sail up the west coast of Ireland, settle on the Quiliora Peninsula in Sligo. For many years, since the start of antiquarian interest in ancient times, in fact, there has been continuous debate and speculation about the movements of ancient people. This very first question was a hot topic in Ireland in the 1870s and 1890s, and again in the 1940s and 1950s, to support various nationalistic and cultural agendas. However, with the advent of ADNA, that A stands for ancient, many of the mysteries of our ancient origins are being unraveled. It all began in 2015 when geneticists from Trinity College in Dublin, working with a team of archaeologists in Belfast, sequenced DNA from the bones of a Neolithic woman whose remains has been excavated in 1865. We now know the farmers who built the passage graves are descended from the first agriculturalists who domesticated cereal and tamed cattle in Anatolia, Turkey, some 10,000 to 12,000 years ago. The first megaliths are also found in this region. Our farmers migrated through the Mediterranean with their herds of cattle and fleets of ships. They passed through Sardinia, where their closest modern genetic relatives still live. They colonized the Iberian Peninsula and up along the Atlantic facade to Brittany, where the megalith passage grave culture takes root. The oldest monuments discovered so far in County Sligo is the remains of a causewayed enclosure at Magaraboy, just outside of Sligo. This structure has been dated to about 4150 BC, using a piece of an oak plank that was found in sight. Early ancestors of the Irish may have come to the Emerald Isle from the Middle East. The startling discovery was made after the DNA of a woman who lived near Belfast 5,200 years ago, and 3 Irishmen dating back to the Bronze Age around 4,000 years ago was mapped. So they're talking about the Ballynahatty Woman and the 3 remains that were found near her. Ancient Irish DNA, Where Do We All Come From? A talk by Professor Dan Bradley. The science of genetics is really the science of inheritance and provides a wealth of information about ourselves and our ancestry. Using a technique called whole genome analysis, the team examined the remains of a Stone Age woman farmer, one of the first farmers in Ireland, who was buried over 5,000 years ago in Ballynahatty near Belfast, and those of 3 men buried in Rathlin Island during the Bronze Age between 3,000 and 4,000 years ago. The results give a fascinating glimpse into where we came from, who we are, and what characteristics we share as people. Among many fascinating observations, Professor Bradley illustrates how early Irish farmers were similar to Southern Europeans. It also appears that with the advent of the Bronze Age, genetic patterns changed quite dramatically as newcomers from the Black Sea area of Eastern Europe settled in Ireland. All right, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.